15 minutes ago, R.I.P legendary singer Tom Jones. Goodbye, Tom Jones. T.J. Jones, Thomas Jones Woodward, better known as Akane Walsh, is a renowned personality in the music world. With a career spanning more than 50 years, he has made a lasting impression on the industry with his commanding voice and endearing stage presence. While recovering from tuberculosis in his hometown of Pontypridd, South Wales, as a young man, Tom Jones found solace in the thoughts of a girl named Melina Tranchard. Little did he know that this young woman would go on to become the love of his life. Tom's recovery marked the beginning of a love story that we would spend a lifetime following. When Tom entertained, then 15 years old, dropped out of school to work as an apprentice glove cutter. Despite the menial nature of his work, he found contentment in being with Linda, a shy pretty girl from 3 Cliff Terrace. It was clear that she had a special place in his heart. Their love story began to unfold. Elena and Tom's relationship grew, and they decided to get married when they were just 16 years old, even though Linda was already 8 months pregnant. They were married in March 1957 at the Pond Bridge Register Office, Martha's daughter, beginning a journey that would take them through the highs and lows of life. A month later, they welcomed their first child, Mark Woodward, into the world, and Tom felt the utter joy of holding his sons for the first time. At this point, Tom's singing career, Tom's rise to fame was gradual, but it was clear that he had talent from an early age. He would stand on the chair in front of his family and sing along to the psalms playing on the radio, but it wasn't until 1965 that he became well known after the release of his hit song Is Not Unusual. This was more at the start of a career that would see him become a household name. Despite Lena rarely attending her husband's concerts throughout this time of rising international popularity, she remained the solid pillar of support. His manager misrepresented him to the public as a 22-year-old single artist, disguising the reality that he was already married and a father. As a result, Lena's fears started to show, yet she still sticks by Tom. As Tom's fame rose, more women began to approach him. The temptations that come with being a rock star are something that Tom found difficult to ignore. He claimed to having affairs with up to 250 women annually, despite his claim that he never kept track of them. He had 2 dressing rooms backstage during tours, one for visiting friends and the other for entertaining groupies. His infidelity was a well-kept secret among his staff. His affairs included interactions with lap dancers and older citizens like Mary Wilson of the Supremes. Tom Jones's relationship with beauty queen Missouri Wallace was one of the most controversial relationships of his life. When press photographers snapped pictures of them together in Barbados and Las Vegas, their passion was made public. As Linda was about to learn about this romantic relationship, despite having numerous affairs, Tom abruptly broke his relationship with Wallace. Tom constantly went back to Linda, declaring that she was the most important thing in his life and that everything else was just for fun. His publicist reportedly quoted him as stating, "It's Linda that I actually love," highlighting the sweetness of their relationship. Elena and Tom's marriage brought to light the fact that Tom had fathered Jonathan Bergery with model Catherine Berkery. A DNA test established their relationship. Tom started paying child support on a regular basis. However, he never saw or spoke to his son. Jonathan's life spiraled out of control as he struggled with drug addiction, lacked parental direction, and became a homeless gun dealer. Jonathan and Tom never really connected, and Tom feels terrible about not being there for his kid. Lena Trencher struggled with her health throughout her life, including a battle with colon cancer. Tom promised his son that if Linda didn't live, he wouldn't sing again. Lena demonstrated incredible fortitude in beating colon cancer, but in 2016, she was also found to have fatal lung cancer. In order to remain at his wife's side during her final days, Tom postponed all of his travels. He blamed himself for her illness and questioned whether he could have done more to prolong her life. On April 10, 2016, as the Dark Cines hospital was leaving, Lena died away. Tom sought out a therapist's assistance when Linda's fasting resulted in her passing, and the therapist assisted him in realizing that he couldn't have stopped an aggressive form of cancer from taking Linda. 4 weeks after her passing, Tom broke his promise and went back to performing, blaming his wife's house for helping him get through his shows. As he dealt with the loss of his beloved wife in 2017, Tom admitted that he might never perform Bob Dylan's song, "What Good Am I?" again, because it has always caused him to wonder whether he was somehow responsible for Linda's passing. Tom Jones had to have hip replacement surgery, which put a temporary stop to his musical journey. The operation was successful, but the recuperation process was difficult and taxing, especially for a performer who relies on his physical agility on stage. T.J. Jones, the ingested despite having to sit down for 3/4 of his performances. The professional did not let this setback deter him during this time. It was a difficult period, but it was a means of buying time until his second surgery, which held the promise of restoring his hip, and with it his full performance capabilities. He experienced misfortune once more towards the end of 2019. Thomas Darno's liver impairment was brought on by his continued alcohol usage, and in February 2021, his doctor, frightened by the degree of the damage, gave him the advice to stop drinking. Tom's life took yet another shift when he was given a diagnosis that would once more alter his outlook on life. Leukemia. This blood cancer diagnosis was a shock, but Tom battled through it with tenacity. He started a demanding treatment regimen and, despite many obstacles, achieved remission by May of that same year. Just when Tom thought he had won the hardest battle of his life, he was dealt another curveball in April 2023 when he found a worrying lump on his throat. Fear gripped him, and he realized that it was cancer. His worst worries came true when the alert was biopsied and discovered to be nasopharyngeal cancer. This extremely rare and severe kind of cancer left town with few treatment options. Tom immediately sought treatment at the California Cancer Center, but his fight with nasopharyngeal cancer turned out to be his most difficult to date. Because chemotherapy had no effect on the cancer's growth and showed no signs of remission, the medical staff, in consultation with Tom, had to make a difficult choice. The only alternative left was a total laryngectomy, which would remove his voice box, but Tom was facing yet another potentially life-threatening situation. Choice declined the operation. Tom's decision to seek hospice care and use palliative methods to manage his pain and retain his quality of life was a contentious decision that proved to be a turning point in his path. To cope with the physical and mental agony brought on by the unrelenting spread of his cancer, Tom turned to prescription medicines, booze, and tobacco. As the months went by, Garner missed the reactions of those who knew him to this decision. Tom's health deteriorated quickly, and the tumor in his throat kept growing, making it difficult for him to speak, eat, and breathe. The once vibrant man who had experienced difficulties in life head-on was now only rewarded with bodily and psychological suffering. On September 19, 2023, he decided against having a laryngectomy, which meant he would never be able to speak again and would have to rely on other methods of communication. At the age of 83, Tom Jones passed away from nasopharyngeal carcinoma. He is approaching the end of his life with extraordinary fortitude in the face of tough decisions and controversy. Tom's disregard for medical guidance. Those who knew him will always be affected by his reliance on drugs to deal with pain and his determination to battle cancer on his terms. The life of Tom Jones serves as an appropriate reminder of the complexity of human existence. His journey was defined by hardship, difficulty with his health, and morally contentious decisions. Tom Jones will be remembered not only for his battles, but also for the strength of character that allowed him to navigate life's most difficult moments in his own unique way. His legacy is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit in the face of adversity, and it serves as a source of inspiration for all who face adversity. Thanks